If you'd like to make a donation to the people affected by the Great East Japan earthquake, please check out the website at www.jrc.or.jp/English. That's www.jrc.or.jp/English. I'm Keiko Kitagawa in Tokyo. You're watching NHK World. Please stay tuned. You're watching Newsline. I'm Keiko Kitagawa in Tokyo. Work to restore the cooling functions at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant is continuing amid fears of radiation leaks. The Tokyo Electric Power Company is trying to supply electricity for the cooling systems, and water is also being sprayed to cool down the reactors. Tokyo firefighters have resumed water spraying at the number 3 reactor following a 13.5-hour operation. The self-defense forces also sprayed water onto the number 4 reactor building with 11 fire engines. TEPCO is working to supply electricity to the reactor buildings, aiming to restore the cooling systems. TEPCO officials told reporters that the power cables had reached a hub station in the number 2 reactor building on Sunday afternoon. And in the number 5 and number 6 reactors, the water temperature dropped below 100 degrees Celsius on Sunday after the cooling pumps were restored. Defense Minister Toshimi Kitazawa told reporters on Sunday evening that the Self-Defense Forces water spraying operation is helping to cool the reactor.
Infrared thermography readings were taken from an altitude of approximately 900 meters. The temperature for reactors 1 through 6 were taken. Similar to the survey done yesterday, the results indicate that the storage pools for spent fuel rods were all under 100 degrees. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency technical official indicated that this validates that there is water in the pool and is very valuable data for developing countermeasures hereafter.
We now have an in-depth analysis of the situation at the Fukushima Daiichi plant from NHK World's Yoshiyuki Yamasaki. Following number 3 reactor, water was sprayed onto number 4 reactor for the first time on Sunday. How effective was it? There is no evaluation as to the effectiveness yet. The pool has a capacity of 1,400 tons. It's quite large. How much water remains in the number 4 reactor pool is not clearly known yet. On Sunday, the self-defense forces sprayed water onto the number 4 reactor twice, and this operation is going to continue. Around the reactor buildings, there is a lot of debris with high radiation readings, hampering the operations. The self-defense forces are going to dispatch tanks to remove the debris. The water spraying operations were implemented under very difficult circumstances. There is a lot of debris around the number 3, 1, and 4 reactor buildings. Because of the hydrogen explosion, there is a lot of concrete debris around. The Tokyo Fire Department water spraying operations were also hampered. Because of the debris, the workers could not approach the area. Special large vehicles were deployed to spray water from a high altitude if there is a large concrete debris. The members couldn't park the fire engine in an ideal place. The Tokyo Fire Department could not park their fire engine according to their initial plan, so they had to make a very tough decision. on the site, resulting in some delay in their operations. So the self-defense forces are going to mobilize a tank with thick floor. Depending on the types, radiation rays cannot penetrate through paper, plate, plastics, or metal. If members are inside the tank, which is like a lump of steel, they can protect their body from radiation. So concrete debris is going to be removed with a tank. Then it would be easier to spray water onto the fuel storage pools at the reactors. This mission is going to be implemented as early as Tuesday. There is a large steel plate for the tanks. The debris is going to be removed with that?
Yes. There's concrete and other debris that have become scattered all over the property after the explosion, and we believe that there is radioactive material on the debris. There is still a high level of radiation observed across the plant property. That is because the debris that is now strewn all over the grounds has radioactive materials on it. Therefore, on Tuesday, they will have a bulldozer device in front of the tank that will be used to collect the debris in one location, as they want to create a flat space. Having a flat space will make it easier for the hosing operation to take place. So that tank should begin work today on Monday? Yes. And once the debris is removed, the hosing operation will be easier? Yes, it will go much smoother. Now, the key to restoring the cooling system is getting external property, external power back up. How much of that is now ready? The priority has been to restore power to reactor number 2. Reactor number 2 is the only building which has had no explosion, so the building is intact, but this actually prevents any water being hosed onto the reactors from the outside. This is why they need power to move the cooling systems. By operating the cooling systems, they hope to cool down the heated fuel rods. That's the reason why reactor number 2 is being given the priority in the restoration of power. On Sunday, they were able to install power supply cables to the near vicinity of reactor number 2. In the afternoon and evening, they were able to connect the power supply cables into the plant building of reactor number 2. The cables are apparently now connected to the distribution panels. Now, TEPCO will take the power to the central control room. This central control room is basically the command center of the nuclear power reactor. Getting power back up in the central control room has benefits because this will give indication of what the heat conditions are, what the pressure readings are, and how much water is left in the pipes. A lot of data can be collected and read from the central control room. Fukushima Daiichi power plant is in a lot of trouble, but one of the major obstacles is the fact that people are in the dark in terms of what's happening in the reactors or the pools. Since the power was shut off, all of the gauges have stopped, so they have no ability to collect data. Once the central control room is back up and revived, they will regain the ability to obtain data, which means that they will have a better idea of what measures to take. Thereafter, they will understand how they can cool down the fuel and how they can contain the radiation. They will be able to develop a game plan with better precision, which is why they are eager to restore power to the central control room.
Japan's National Police Agency said